Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 492 at scavengerlife.com.
Ryan, we're doing it. We're doing so much stuff. So here in Virginia, it is really warm, and it's
like 65 degrees.
It's like December 13th, like the middle of December, 2 weeks before Christmas, and it's warm. So I'm going to go paint some metal stairs. Ryan has been staining decks. We've been trying to sneak all the stuff in. We had a big water filtration system put on our downtown building.
Yeah.
And he's an older guy who's from here, and he said that people in our building's right on a creek, it's kind of like a river creek. He said it would get so cold in the 70s, it would freeze and people would ice skate on
the creek. Really? I've never seen that happen.
He was like, it never gets cold enough to do that. So anyway, we're just trying to sneak in as much work as we can. I know there are people who live like in the middle of the U.S. where it's probably already 10 feet of snow.
It is supposed to snow this week. That's kind of why we're like, it's warm today. Let's get as much outdoor stuff as we can done.
Right.
It's basically like getting a head start on spring.
Right.
You're like, let's do anything we can before spring so it's already done.
Yep.
But
that's not the insanity we're talking about. We're going to talk about USPS insanity.
My God.
The U.S. Postal Service.
Yes.
Okay. In the 12 years we've been selling eBay, we have never seen it as backed up.
Yeah, it's no.
Have you ever seen this?
No, it is. As I was saying to Phil, our business partner in the coffee business, I was saying these delays are unprecedented. And then I looked at USPS website yesterday, and they were using the exact same terminology.
It's 2020, people.
It is like, I have never, ever seen delays this bad.
Yeah.
Stuff was not leaving our post office for like 4 days.
Right. So let's talk about this. In my question, so when we drop off our coffee packages to the ladies of the post office, it's all ladies.
Because we're right downtown, so we just walk it over.
I'm always like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't know.
They don't know.
So I think it's a mixture of things. It's a usual Christmas rush. Yeah. Which is not unusual. But
it's insanity.
But it's a crush. It's pandemic buying. So because of the pandemic, I think people are just buying a lot more online for Christmas.
For Christmas and in general.
Right. And on top of that, and I forget, because of COVID and the pandemic, the Postal Service is having issues with staffing because people are getting sick.
Right.
It's hard to hire, they hire a lot of temporary people during this time of year. And what our ladies were telling us was it's hard for them to find people willing to, work out in public during the pandemic. And,
So it's the perfect storm of why everything's being delayed.
And so at the top of the USPS.com, it says USPS is experiencing unprecedented package increases and limited employee availability due to the impacts of COVID-19. We appreciate your patience and remain committed to delivering the holidays to you. So, they're finally now, it took about a week and a half-ish to finally, we were looking online, there's a Reddit forum about the post office, and someone was posting some photos of what the Richmond...
No, it wasn't Richmond, it's Merrifield. It's right outside D.C. The big warehouse in Merrifield, it's one of the distribution centers. They have just loads and loads and loads of packages, and some people were like, yep, those packages have been sitting there for over a week.
So they showed photos of it, and there were like pallets outside and inside the warehouse. And what I guess is it post office people who are on that forum?
Yes, postal employees,
because it seemed like kind of insider stuff. They were saying that, unfortunately, and we've all seen this, it's first in, last out.
Right.
Because just of, they don't have a lot of room.
Right.
So the thing that comes in on Tuesday gets shoved in the corner.
Right.
And then stuff starts piling behind it.
Yep.
Well, the stuff behind it starts going out first. And that's why a lot of us have seen these things that have been sitting there for 10 days.
Since after Thanksgiving.
Right. Because the stuff is piling up, and so they're trying to get that out. So
right. I have seen stuff start to move, but there is stuff from like the first week of December for coffee packages and for eBay that I'm like, wow, that has not moved out of my sorting facility, which is in Richmond.
Right. And so on our forum, we've all been talking about this because the issue is with eBay is that eBay's hasn't been helping the seller communicate with the buyer about what's going on. So we as a seller are the ones who are bearing the brunt of like angry buyers. Like, you promised me this. So Indie Sales says, the problem is that eBay isn't doing anything directly to notify buyers of a potential delay.
Right.
I think they just started putting a little thing, but it's not obvious.
Right.
Buyers are now contacting me and demanding refunds because I missed my guaranteed delivery date. Stuff like, you advertised a delivery date of X, what's happening? Is bothered them and just introduces extra stress that eBay could prevent by just letting buyers know there's a problem. And this person's right. I mean, eBay could just be sending automatic messages to all buyers. Being like, the seller is not at fault. They mailed it out on this day, and this is a USPS.
So I had an issue with a buyer. It was only one buyer, and they were like, first of all, they were acting crazy because they were like, you guaranteed same day delivery. I think they meant same day handling, which I have 3-day handling, so that's wrong. And they were just mad. But what was funny is that morning it started moving in their state. So they should be getting it really soon. But it was just one of those things where you're like, dude, come on. It's a $15 pair of pants.
But also, is eBay right now, when I go to buy something, is it still showing delivery dates that are normal, or is eBay adding dates?
I don't know. I was trying to buy something yesterday, but it was media mail. It was some books. So that's slow anyway, so I'm not sure.
And so you can comment on this. Indie Sales goes on to say, maybe the oddest part of all this is that when someone opens an item not received case, eBay forgets there's even a tracking number associated with the order. Why do I have to give them the tracking number again? Why even allow the buyer to open up a case if they know there's a problem with delays?
Agreed. I mean, I agree. Yeah, you're like, it is so funny. You're like, I print a label or upload tracking through eBay's system.
And, eBay demands that. Right. You have to do that.
Right. And okay. So if someone says item not received and it's still in transit, you're like, eBay, you have this information. You created this information. It's just like...
So they go on to say there's many points of failure here. Some of them are inexcusable, in my opinion. That's what Andy Sales says. I blame eBay for creating this unrealistic expectation of shipping times. We had delays with USPS earlier this year. What made them think the holidays would be any easier? So... some people were like, eBay should be the one to refund all the money. And it's not eBay's fault. I mean, this is the Postal service. And we love the Postal Service, so I'm not here to rag on the Postal Service. Not at all. I mean, everyone just needs to get their act together. It's all about communication.
But it's also like, honestly, if you communicate to a buyer, like, look, as we said, USPS is experiencing unprecedented delays in packages. Like, chill out, y'all. It's a pandemic during the holidays. I bought several things for our rentals and for ourselves and for presents on eBay, and I waited 2 weeks for something to come first class, and you're just like, I have to wait, it sucks. What I was just thinking while you were talking was, maybe we change our handling time to 5 days. Right now it's 3. We change it to 5. I ship the day it sells anyway, but that might give us a little buffer.
Some people were talking about they're actually putting their store on that new time away.
Oh.
Where,
but they'll still ship stuff.
Yeah. So,
or they're like, forget it.
So, it's like, it's eBay's new like vacation mode where you put it in time away, and I guess it sets a date. Like, I'm going to be away till
Christmas.
January 1st.
Yeah.
And so this is when I'm going to ship.
Right.
But you can still ship in between there. It's just you're setting the expectation.
I think the only issue with that is then people buying for Christmas are like, well, I'm not going to buy this.
Well, yeah. But,
But then is anything going to get there by Christmas anyway?
That's the thing. At least you're being more honest.
Right.
Because if someone buys today on December 13th, I mean, I don't know. Is it going to get there in the next 2 weeks?
It's a good question.
And then Timo said, as far as eBay, they set sellers up with these unrealistic delivery expectations. Today, it seems like they are looking more real. So I don't know if eBay's been
maybe
changing.
they have been.
Since I offer both first class and priority, it looks like they're now showing both options for a change.
That's been an issue where you're like, I have two options for people to buy, and forever they would just show the cheapest option.
Right. eBay does this thing where, and I get it, I guess they're trying to not give people too many choices, like as if that's complicating it. So they have some algorithm where they just show the cheapest or fastest.
I think it's the cheapest,
I think it should just show both. Right. And then, he goes on to say they should do a better job of preventing buyers from opening cases. Yeah. And that's, that's fair too. If eBay is aware there's a problem, they should not. So there were a couple people on the forum that I think felt new to this whole thing. Yeah. And they were saying, like, one lady was like, this buyer, like, started complaining, kind of like our buyer. And they get very irate, and they're, like, outraged, and they're like, how could you do this? Right. I want my money back right now. And the lady just gave him his money back, which is a nice thing to do. And you as a seller have every right, if you want to just put fires out. Right. Refunds are fine, especially if it's for like a cheaper item. But our advice is eBay has a system. Right. Like it's a good system for the most part. It's an okay system. So we never give a refund to a buyer until they go through the process.
Yeah, they have to open the case. And also, like this person, it said expected delivery on Thursday. It'll probably get there Monday. But
I mean, it's kind of like a bureaucratic system to slow the process down, to chill everybody out. So the buyer can only open a case after a certain time. Right. Once the case is open, we as a seller put in the tracking number. Right. And then that sets another clock, and that gives us time
for it to get to.
And we communicate like, we're real sorry. It's, the tracking is here. It says it's here.
Right. It's not like I didn't ship it. Like I bought something the other month ago, and the lady just never shipped it. So you're like, okay, at least for me, I'm like, this left my region at this point. Like, it's on its way.
Yeah. And so that eBay process allows a significant amount of time to go by. And then there is always a point where eBay's like, this package is not getting there. Yeah. Then you have to actually give a refund. And that's fine. Fair enough. But we never give a refund right when people start complaining.
Yeah, and also, this guy was irate and acting crazy. He also has another pair of pants he hasn't paid for on my store. So I'm like, great. So, we try to, come back with facts. Right. Anytime he's like, you promised this. I'm like, I actually don't promise that. But, I'm sure it's on its way. You're just like...
Yeah. So it's just about being calm and very...
Just be professional.
Not curt, but we're very businesslike.
Well, factual.
We don't go into long explanations. It's not like I'm talking to someone at a coffee shop. It's more about like you're talking to someone on the internet.
Right.
These are the simple declarative sentences, and this is it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Ryan, question. Are you addicted to pirate ship?
No. But I think it's good.
I see the transactions hit our credit card.
So I really love the whole, because I do this anyway.
It's like $9.67 is the magic
because
number.
If it's more, if I put it into eBay, like here's the box size and the weight, and it's going to California. Okay, that's $12. And then I go to Pirate Ship. I'm like, well, here's the box size. It's in a poly mailer and it weighs 3 pounds going to California. They're like $9.67. Great. I'm sold. Like, I will buy that label.
Cool.
I also was able to, so I sent some presents to our family members and
my family.
My family. And I put everything in poly mailers and I was able to mail it through Pirate Ship because you can just create a label. So that was convenient too. Just like, it's on one of our credit cards. So when I do my accounting, I'm just like shipping. Like I automatically am like, these are shipping costs. So that's kind of nice for
But
accounting.
you're getting to where you aren't checking every single package. You kind of know the parameters.
Yeah, I know
check.
that. So if it's above first class, if it's a pound and up and it's going far away, it's most likely like, there were some times where I'm like, oh, will this go to Pennsylvania cheaper? Right. No, it won't actually. Like regional rate A is better, so I'll just do that.
I don't know if you looked. Well, I guess we do everything to Canada global shipping, right?
Yeah,
someone was saying like you can ship to like Canada for some reason super cheap.
You have to. So what I need to do is you go into Pirate Ship and ask for their special international export rates. So I need to do that. I would like to sign up for Pirate Ship for the coffee business too. So I need to, that's like on my list of stuff to do this week. But yeah, so I like it a lot. I like it as an option. It's easy. It syncs with eBay. So when you print that label and you go back to eBay, the tracking's uploaded to eBay, which I love. Right. Anything to sync just information is so helpful in that way.
Now, I'm smiling, right?
Okay, go. Come on, we don't have much time
No.
here.
I mean, like, that's just a nice... I mean, people have gotten to see over the past 3 to 4 weeks how we evolve as a business. It's first hatred...
uncomfortable, cranky,
like brick walls.
Yeah,
like I don't want to change.
Yep, because you're just like it's more work.
Struggle.
Yeah.
Then there's a crack in the wall.
Yep.
And then you try it.
And then you're like, oh, this is great.
And then you're like, okay, it's good.
Why does Pirate Ship exist? I don't understand. It's a free service. Like where do they make money?
So this is my guess.
Are they?
This is my guess. I have no idea. I'm sure people will now tell us who understand this. I guess Pirate Ship is probably they've negotiated some rate with the Postal
cubic
service. And then we're kind of all buying labels through Pirate Ship. So USPS is not giving it to us or giving it to Pirate Ship.
So they get a little
they
bit
probably, we may pay like $1 for a label, but Pirate Ship only pays 89 cents.
So they
get like a little bit of.
It's got to be. It's a wholesale.
Right.
It's a wholesale transaction.
That's my guess.
I would love to know. Does anyone know?
Right. Why do they?
Who is it? I would love to know.
It's true with eBay. I mean, many people have wondered how much money eBay makes on shipping. I mean, we get better deals in a retail.
Right.
Like it's cheaper for us to buy a label at home through eBay than to go to the retail window.
For sure.
But maybe eBay's getting even cheaper. So for every label, they're getting, 5 cents or something.
Well, which kills me because they charge us 9% on shipping.
Yeah.
So you're like,
hey,
eBay,
coming, going,
they get you every way.
It's like when you go to an auction and the auctioneer is taking money from the seller, like 20-something%, and then they also have
buyer's premium,
which is that's
how they make their money.
They're the middleman.
They got to.
Okay, our numbers this week. We sold almost the exact number of items.
That's so weird.
We sold 52 a week ago. We sold 51 items, which is a lot of items.
I know.
Seven
I know.
a day.
And every morning I'm like, oh, there's a porcelain gravy boat with a lid and a porcelain ladle. Oh my God. I have to ship this.
You're stretching out those shipping muscles.
There was a set of 4 huge 11-inch and 3-inch tall dinner plates going to California. Of course, you're like, oh my God.
Hang on, we'll talk about that. So our sales, our gross sales, were $1,678, $4.99.
Not including shipping?
Not including shipping.
Okay, yes.
On the forum, we've been debating a little bit. They're like, why don't I include our shipping? Because if I did, what would see, like eBay, I'm going to explain in a second, but I think this is good to do. So our grand total, if I were to include shipping and taxes, is like $23.50.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Right.
But that's, again,
that doesn't go to us.
Shipping and taxes. Well, what people say is we make money on shipping. And we talked about this because I asked some people on the its forum were talking about making incredible amounts of money on shipping. But I think they ship larger items where there's more room to have $30 profits.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we may be making $1 or something. The reason why I do that number is just because I like to ballpark. I like to sandbag. I just like to know, like, what's kind of my gross, my number for the week. Yeah. So I just kind of know. And then, of course, we do our numbers in a more serious way, like for a bookkeeper. It's more just like I need to have that in my head.
Well, the other thing, too, is like we were saying, so it doesn't include taxes and shipping, but like eBay takes all these fees on shipping and on our listings and our store. So, you know, it's not like we're subtracting all the expenses. Right. This is just like like you said, it's a sandbag ballpark, like... It was approximately this much.
Know. It's just like
that makes sense for us.
I'm closer to the guy at the flea market. Yeah, that's just trying to calculate to make sure he has enough money for gas
money to get home.
Yeah. I'm more like that person than I am like the guy who's running Google, who's like doing all the spreadsheets. Exactly. And like when we talked to Phil, our partner in the coffee business, you know, he's much more kind of perfect number, spreadsheet, margins.
Well, you've been trying to be like...
And I'm just like, but like how many coffees do we need to sell in a week? Like, give me a ballpark sandbag number. Like, if we sell 300 coffees in a week, are we paying our bills?
Right,
like,
exactly.
I just need, how many pounds of coffee a month before we can pay ourselves X number of dollars? It's just kind of, I need that easier. Yeah. I don't do good with like, well, we're making, 32% profit on X. I'm just like, okay, but what does that mean? Yeah. So anyway, that's just how I do it. That's how I share it. I like to sandbag it. That's our sandbag number. Okay. Things we sold.
Yes. Plates.
Gravy boats. I put the kibosh on box saving. We have too many boxes. They are overflowing. They're like covering the lights in our. I know. I gotta break storage.
boxes. Like, so you saw up on I have a little porch on the outside of my office. I started breaking boxes down because I will use them. Right. I just need to break them. They can't be like the full extent of a box ready to use.
Although I do understand. It's nice to have them already made because then you see the size. Yeah. If you start breaking down weird size boxes, you're never going to know. Like,
I'm going out there with a measuring tape, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine to do that too. As long as I have, what's more important is I have the box to use, not that I can like see it in perfect 3D dimensions.
You're allowed as many boxes as you want. It's just we're running out of room.
We need to break some boxes down.
And it is weird. We haven't made like over $2,000 in a week. I think since like the summertime. It's been a little while.
I know.
We just haven't been selling like huge dollar items like, and for us that means like over $100. Like this week our highest price had been $100 for like a serving plate. But I don't know, I feel like in the summertime we were selling more like $200 and $300 items. That would happen more. So I don't know. Scavenger of the week.
Do we scavenge?
We didn't scavenge. It's been a very busy week in other
departments,
parts of our lives. Customer issues. Yeah, you talked about the one buyer who was very irate, and
unnecessarily irate. Yeah. Just it's a pair of pants. Yeah. I shipped it the moment I could.
Well, it's funny. It's just like he was like, I bought it on this day, and you didn't ship till this day, and you took a screenshot of the actual like the days. He made an offer
on Saturday night.
He accepted the offer Saturday. he didn't pay till Sunday.
Right. I shipped on Monday.
And you shipped Monday.
And I just was like, I mean, I wrote all that. I was like, you made an offer Saturday night. You paid Sunday, which the post office is not open.
Right.
And then I shipped on Monday. And that kind of stopped him in his tracks. And he's like, but it's still not here. You're like, well, okay.
It was promised to me. So, but anyway, he's fine.
It'll get there.
So some more things we learned in the forum. Old Dad.
Yes.
It was on there. He says, because he's been pointing out some pet peeves. One was the fact that when you sell multiple things, it sends you like 3 different emails for the 3 different items, but it puts a total sale on each one.
So you're like, wow, I just made like $600. Right. And you're like, no, I didn't.
So another pet peeve is that eBay holds funds for any return,
yes,
regardless of the reason for the return. So he says, I've never paid too much attention to the returns that were authorized but never returned. Do we need to monitor those now to make sure the funds are released?
They better be.
Even if they are automatically returned, I suppose the funds are being held for 30 or more days, Here's
something similar that I had an issue with this week. Someone returned, I had a bunch of fabric that I sold to someone in Alaska. It went all the way to Alaska, and they were like, yeah, this doesn't really work for my project. Fine. Says, return for doesn't fit, in quotes. Right. Doesn't fit my project. Okay, fine. She returns it, I refund her, and I say on the refund page, please relist this. Now, I have this return sitting next to me on my desk. So I'm waiting I got to go get the inventory number and make sure I put it in the right bin, etc. So it's sitting there for like a day. And so I'm like, let me go into my active listings and look at the bin number, like under the SKU. It's not relisted. So those are, so I go back into the return details and I was like, I thought that it said it would relist it. And it said, we had a problem relisting this and it did not get relisted. Wow. When were they going to tell me? They didn't send me a message. Wow. It's like, so no wonder you have stuff in your inventory that you're like, this never got relisted. It's going to sit there for 3 years.
Yep.
Yep. So luckily I went to go look for that custom SKU number and was like, this isn't even listed. Where did it go?
Yeah, that is.
So you got to double check that so what I did was I checked all my returns for the last like month to make sure all that stuff was relisted, and it was. But still, like, that stuff drives me nuts.
Yeah, but also, like Old Dad is just saying, is I noticed that someone opens a return case and automatically they grab that cash out of your account or the upcoming payment. Right. And then, I never looked to see. I just assume it's getting returned, but I don't know. Did you know what they say about
it's just
assumption?
The problem is eBay is holding returns for like 45 days now. Right. So if they don't return it and they just let it sit there for 45 days, they hold your funds for that long. Yeah. It's annoying.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Okay, so we do not have any calls this week, or emails or anything. A lot of conversation on the forum, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the phone lines are quiet.
Hopefully, everyone has been just busy selling and shipping. Okay, let's talk.
Coffee talk. Sorry, y'all. You can turn it off now if you want.
Sorry, not sorry. So, Ryan, briefly.
Yes.
Have I told you how much I love coffee?
I do know that you love coffee.
I love how it tastes.
Yeah.
I've always loved coffee.
Yes.
I think, to me, the most surprising thing about starting this coffee business, especially in our small town, where people now see me and they know that I'm the coffee man. People will come up to me and tell me, oh, that's cool you're doing that. I don't drink coffee.
I cannot tell you how many people.
I think that is so interesting.
You're like, what?
I just had no idea that there were a good number of people that don't drink coffee. And my immediate question is, how do you consume caffeine? And some people are like, I do soda. Like, soda's my thing.
Or tea.
Some people, very few people, but they're like, I drink tea. But some people just like are not into caffeine, which I think is very interesting.
Like, how do you survive?
It's not about surviving. It's like the one vice, the one kind of thing that's very enjoyable and and healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking soda as a caffeine, as consuming caffeine is not good for you. But drinking coffee is it's just a water with like caffeine.
I mean,
you know?
I think it's fine.
So
I
good.
love it too.
Also, I was thinking about this. There's nothing like a good cafe. I mean,
yes.
You know, that's also why I'm excited about us opening this coffee shop. Like, I remember when I was single, not with you.
Yes.
I was alone. I spent many hours
desperate and alone.
Weird little coffee shops.
Yeah.
Just reading books. I mean, just like, it's just so, just like the stereotype.
Right.
A place to go where I could read books and think about life. And it was nice because really in the world at large,
where do you go?
there aren't many places where you can go and sit for, you know, a longer period of time.
Drink coffee.
Than eating, you know, at a restaurant or... It seems like today a lot of times McDonald's has become kind of like
We've
the
seen
place,
that in our
you know?
town, you know.
I don't know. It's
yeah. So we're looking forward to it. I mean, we've done a lot of work this week to get the coffee shop ready. Like it's so many steps. Like it's so funny. You think, oh, it's not going to be that big a deal, and it really, like, every single step is.
Every local person I talk to is like, when are you going to open? I'm like, we're in the middle of like this giant
100-year pandemic,
coronavirus surge where people are dying, and like in our state at least, there's now a governor order where no more than 10 people can get together. I'm like, let's wait a little while, even if I could open now.
I'm like, I gotta install the toilet first, which we did.
But even if I could open, I wouldn't open right now.
Right,
but, you know.
Exactly. So,
But the good news is, it is the thing that makes me excited about this business is that it's kind of a multifaceted business. There's going to be the cafe, public facing, people who are local here come and visit. People who are hearing this, you could come and you could come and visit.
Out at the coffee shop.
People are also buying coffee online, and that's exciting.
Right.
Actually, a bakery just opened in the next town over, and we just started selling them coffee wholesale, which is kind of cool.
Yep. So, a bakery opened, and they have seating and stuff like that, but they can't use their seating, so they're doing kind of what we're doing.
Pick up,
online orders. So they've been using our espresso to make espresso and do takeout. So that's been cool.
But it's also been fun. Again, you know, we have like an eBay business, like people hearing this.
Yeah.
You go out, you find things, you put them on the internet, you store them.
You hope that someone wants them.
Ship them. Like, that's that business.
Right.
It's been interesting. So Mondays and Thursdays, the two of us go meet our two partners at our roaster building, and we roast together. And like, Phil is roasting, me and Jill are like packing. Coffee, measuring it out, and then you're the shipper.
And let me tell you, I have been shipping. So Phil left us a bunch of coffee to fulfill orders, and you and I have been fulfilling orders every day.
Right.
Like, that's how many orders we're getting, is we're fulfilling orders like, I'm going there today.
I mean, obviously a lot of it is people are buying like Christmas presents, which is cool. I'm hoping our sales don't drop off a cliff after Christmas, but because you got to have coffee.
You got to always have coffee if you drink coffee.
But it is interesting. This, you know, it's such a different kind of business.
Yes.
And it's kind of fun.
It is.
We all get to it's kind of what people on our forum talk about. They miss having like a place of work and being around other adults.
Right.
And that's what makes it fun, because we play music and we talk.
Right. And we think of ideas, and we toss ideas around, and we, you know, get excited about things. You know,
and we like just bought a new coffee. It's a natural.
Yes, it's Costa Rican natural. So we don't have it for sale yet.
Right.
But it is a fruity fruit bomb.
Right. Because
so it's nice.
You know, the coffee bean gets picked, and instead of taking the fruit off, they just put the fruit with the coffee bean in there.
They dry it.
They dry it with the fruit on there, so like these like fruit flavors get put in.
It's amazing.
And it's not a flavored coffee.
Yeah, there's no flavors added. Well, it's like wine, like we were saying. Like, you know, the way that the wine is grown and processed is a lot like coffee. Like, you are going to get flavors depending on where it's from, the altitude, was the fruit left on, how is it processed? And so, a lot of our coffees tend to be chocolatey, roasty, nutty, which I love. Cameroon, right. I'm like, I will only drink Cameroon.
Like very approachable, like a coffee.
Like you can put cream in it, it's fine. Right. Fruity coffees, generally you're drinking black because you want to... The first roast we did was very, very light, like lighter than normal. And to me, it felt like drinking this floral hibiscus tea. That's how I would describe it. When you drink a hibiscus tea, it's a flower, but it's kind of this fruity berry flavor. And that's what I was getting at first. So don't put cream in that. It's going to curdle the cream. It's going to be gross. But I drank my coffee black this morning too, because we were drinking a similar coffee to that. So it's kind of amazing. You're like, this is like a delicate tea, even though it's coffee, Well,
but then it was fun because Phil was a roast in it. He was doing different roasts to try and
testing it.
Pull out different flavors, and we would cup it and test it. And now it's not a tea. That was just the first one.
That was the first test.
It's got a lot more body to it, and it's good. So that should go up on the website
soon.
I don't know, soonish.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're interested, we'd love for you to buy coffee. broadporchcoffee.com.
Yes. We are fulfilling orders every day.
Yep.
There are delays, like we said, in shipping, but I'm shipping as fast as possible so that the delays are minimal. We also roast twice a week, so your coffee's super fresh when you get it anyway.
Yep.
So it's yummy.
Yep.
It's great for presents.
Okay.
Okay. This podcast is ending.
3, 2, 1.
Bye.